There we go. All right, guys. So a typhoon weapon has just hit the Philippines. Breaking news. And we're going to show you. Right now, we're looking at the tracks that this storm should have took. I've looked at every wind model, every vortice model, and this thing should have took a right turn before it hit the Philippines. And you're looking at it, you know, that's the vortice pressure right there. Then it was supposed to go back down and just be not even a tropical storm. So we're just going to kind of let this cycle through, and then we're going to get into a bunch of other stuff. Make sure everybody out there, while this is running, make sure you subscribe to all the backup channels. We have 7 days left, according to the YouTube purge. But you're looking at all the models. There's no wind that should have pushed this typhoon down. Here's the jet stream winds. This thing was fabricated over the Atoll Islands, went right around Guam, just like they always do, and then it was parked just to the west of Guam for a little bit, and then they sent it straight on down when it should have went completely, shouldn't have hit the Philippines. I mean, we're looking at all the models. This is a projected model. This is the what it should have ran right here. It should have not even hit the coast of the Philippines. Every model shows it not hitting the way it hit. And I'm going to show you from the very beginning at the pulsed microwave energy into the storm that got this thing fabricated. See, it does, this thing was supposed to completely miss, go up north and do a U-turn and then go down south, but it wouldn't have been a typhoon. All the backup channels are down in the description. Like here it comes. It's supposed to go up and around, just like every typhoon this season has went. They all go right around Guam and then up towards Japan. That's how every single system went this whole year until this one. This one was a weapon. Let me show you a quick video from the very night that it developed. Wow, look at that. Let me mute the sound out here. Look at the frequencies, man. That's like completely being hit with microwaves. Look, there's no eye wall. Man, I gotta save this. I gotta save this image. I'm trying to get the audio off. That is complete. Hopefully this thing will. I got to download this image here. Let me look at this. See if I got. It came out a blank image. Why is it a blank image? I can't get the audio to stop. Uh-oh. Okay, hold on here. Man, I need to save this. That is such... I can't stop it either. Oh, wait, let me turn this off. What the heck, man? I can't get the animation off. I just want to get it to the picture. I got to get a picture of this so you guys can see the frequency waves. I've never, ever seen a storm with these signatures. Let me try to save this image this time. Oh, man, I can't believe I cannot. It won't let me... Let me see if I can fast forward it, turn the enhance it so you guys can see the frequency lines. But hopefully you'll zoom in on this. It should show here pretty quick. There you go. So you can see all the little bitty fine frequency lines all through it. You guys can see this. I'm trying to see if you can see it in the broadcaster. Driving me nuts. And you can see all the ripples are emanating from the circle. There's no wind bands wrapping around. This is a weather weapon, and you could just see all the frequencies. Let me go ahead and animate this with this. I can't do nothing. This is crazy, man. Look at that. This is a geostorm, man. Look at that crazy stuff. That is in no way a normal cyclone event. It has a center point, and then frequencies are radiating out like they're trying to burn a eyewall into the storm. I mean, this is blatant. Come on, the broadcasters froze. That is nuts. And hopefully that's coming through the broadcaster, because this is just completely crazy. Let me try some different enhancements on here. How come I cannot change the scene? Wow. Holy crap, I got it. We know where that's coming from. Alright guys, so here we go. Let's jump into this. We got the CNN here, the Cartel News Network. So this thing was supposed to be a... man, what the heck? They muted the mic on me. Oh my gosh. You can hear me now. You know, this is really getting ridiculous. We're down to 7 days. We're going to have to find a new platform. All the backups are down in the description. We're good now on the sound. I don't even know what you guys didn't hear, but that's all right. We'll just start from here. Anyway, here's a 1966 NASA document reveals the future goal of engineered climate modification. Now, there's just tons of information in this article, but there's one I want to go down to one part, and thanks to the person that sent me this. I think I've seen this a couple of years ago, and I may have reported on it before, but I'm trying to get down to one certain part. I should have it highlighted. All right, so the Russian oil engineer proposed a method of melting the Arctic ice cap. Now, his idea, if the Arctic ice is once melted, much less of the sun's radiation will be reflected out into space, and therefore the Arctic ice cap will not reform. An ice-free Arctic Ocean would be a great boom to oceanic shipping, especially between Europe and East Asia. Much land in the northern Canada and Siberia would be freed of permafrost and made suitable for agriculture. He believed that the ice-free Arctic Ocean would lead to increased evaporation of water, and hence increased rainfall worldwide, including the region of the Sahara Desert, leading to grass growing there. He considers all the impacts of the melting of the Arctic ice cap to be beneficial. He assessed that melting the Greenland ice cap would raise sea levels at a rate of 1.5 to 2 millimeters per year. The scheme was taken seriously by the Soviet climatologists. 2 conferences were held in the 1960s, following an initial meeting in Moscow by the president of the USSR Academy of Sciences in 1959. Now, they wanted to cover the great areas of the Arctic with black powder, such as coal dust, carbon black dust. This is back in 1959. Dispersing the cloud cover over the central Arctic basin. 1958, geoengineering aerosols, deepening, covering the water surface with monomolecular film, installations to direct warmer Atlantic water into the Kara Sea, pumping cold Arctic water into the Pacific to draw warm Atlantic water into the Arctic basin. 1968. Now, this concept also required the construction of a dam across the Bering Strait. And then the article on can we control the Arctic climate? The Bulletin of Atomic Sciences, March 1969, which leads me to this. The Inter-Bering Railroad. The Bering Strait Tunnel and Railroad Construction Investment Corporation. This is the New World Order train system. This is why we're seeing all the high-speed bullet trains put in place. They're going to connect all the regions, all these satanic... Let me get this zoomed down. All these satanic Satanists are all out for our demise, man. This is not a... This is the One World Order train right here. You see the fires going on in Australia. You can see the maps. You can go to all the maps. And you can see every continent is putting this in. You know, it's going to go all the way from South America all the way up, even down in Tasmania, Australia, all the way around Australia, high speed. You know, they just pass through like billions of dollars to put the high speed railway in. For some reason, I'm not seeing the Australia map. It's on here. I know it's on here. I just missed it or something. Which leads me to some of the things we're going to look at tonight on the worldview map. You know, I talk about this bunker fuel all the time because it's creating a blanket over the Arctic poles. And we can see right here, they're all off the coast, man. These are all bunker fuel operations, ship tracks, the most toxic emissions on the planet. 13 of these ships in one day put off more pollution than every car on the planet. 13 ships one day puts off more emissions than all the cars on the planet. That's how toxic these things are. We not only have them off the coast of Australia, we have them over here off the coast of California and Washington. They're all concentrated in a pretty good sized area tonight. Get that loaded up a little better, so you can actually see some of them, the flumes coming off these things. This is all for weather modification. It's all to heat the Arctic. We've been seeing it all year. They're creating a cloud. When you put a cloud blanket, it traps the heat in at night. It does not let the heat escape, thus melts the polar regions. We can also see it happening right here on the Earth. Now we can go up to the stratosphere and we can check the temperatures, and we can see there's a heating event all over the Arctic. This is the Antarctic. We can go up here and they're actually creating a heating event over here in Europe. They're trying to push the cold Arctic air back over to the United States. And we're going to watch this thing ramp up here towards the end of the month. And then we're going to start seeing these super cold Arctic air. And we'll start hearing about the polar vortex plunge and the polar vortex splits and all that stuff. So there's a lot of information in this document here. Oh, this article, whatever you want to call it. I just posted it into the chat. I'll make sure I'll get this into the show notes here. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and paste it here so I don't forget about it. I didn't have a whole lot of time to get ready. And I'll also post this Interbearing Railroad, because this is what they're doing. This is part of melting the Arctic. You know, they've been wanting to melt the Arctic for over 100 years. There's more information on it. You know, this railway is going to go underground, under the Bering Strait, and then under Alaska 5 miles, and under Russia 5 miles. Then they're going to pop up on land. So it's a pretty crazy thing. And then you see they all connect to the lower 48. Going to go to Russia. See, this will all be melted up there. It won't never get ice again. You'll be having shipping going up there. You know, that reminds me, if I go to the weather generator.net, the people over in the United Arab Emirates who control the weather out in the Middle East. This is called the Weather Generator Project. They actually document all the weather engineering that they do, unlike here in the United States. Project Green Desert in the Middle East. What did that article I just went over talk about? They talked about greening the desert. Look up here in their slogan. The hour will not begin until the land of the Arabs once again becomes meadows and rivers. See, this is all part of the New World Order plan, the Luciferian satanic stuff. You know, when you watch any of the music people, or, you know, Hollywood, all these singers and stuff out there, they're all pushing the Satan agenda. They're all pushing the transgender stuff. They're all pushing just crazy stuff, man. If you go watch one of them, you'll just freak out, because now that you guys have the eyes open, you can see that stuff. Now, 60 Minutes come out with an article on YouTube. Is YouTube doing enough to fight hate speech and conspiracy theories? And man, I mean, this is going to be really bad. I'll post this link, and you can go leave them a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Most likely, it will definitely be a thumbs down. Let me post this into the chat. But yeah, this is how they're going to take our speech away, and we're probably only have about 7 days left. Look, 64 thumbs up, 261 thumbs down. You can check out the comments. You know, all the mainstream, man, they're all propaganda machines. They all lie every day. They should be the ones that should be took down. Yeah, exactly. Australian desert fireball may actually been a mini moon, says scientists. What? A fireball that exploded over the Australian desert 3 years ago may actually have been an extremely rare mini moon, according to a just published research. A mini moon from where? The initial fireball was detected on August 22nd, 2016, thanks to a network of 6 cameras spanning hundreds of kilometers in total, called the Desert Fireball Network. However, now a group of researchers led by planetary scientists believes that given the object's slow velocity and almost vertical trajectory, that it, in fact, a temporarily captured orbiter or mini moon, a natural satellite pulled in by a planet's gravity. Man, I call BS. How about maybe a piece of space junk? Maybe some space debris. Maybe one of their balloons popped and something fell. The object's velocity data indicated that the space rock had been in orbit around Earth for some time before its explosive end. According to one supercomputer simulation for 2012, which used 10 million virtual asteroids, only 1,800 such objects become stuck in orbit around simulated Earth, indicating that the phenomenon is rare indeed. Man, I call BS on this article. They're making stuff up. There is no mini moon floating around up there. Space junk. Now we got something else going crazy here, down here by Tasmania and New Zealand. You got the storm that's just sitting there. I mean, it's just sitting there for, you know, right pretty close to where we've seen that crazy orb at down there. It's actually a little bit to the west, but really close. So New Zealand's getting just pounded with moisture because this system is stuck there, just like they stopped Dorian. It's the same thing. Now let's go ahead. We can see this was a category 4 here back on Kamara, however you pronounce it. Let's go ahead and animate this. Yeah, mini me. That is funny, man. That's what it was. So here was the sister storm that should have followed that storm. And they're just holding it over here by the Atoll Islands. And then when they want to let it rip, they'll let it run through there. Let's check out the visible. Let me take off the tracks so we can see it a little better. These tracks are all lies. It shouldn't have went there. Here, let me put that back. See, it was a category 4 right when it hit. I mean, just as soon as it got right there, it never really had an eye wall at all. It never had a normal eye wall. It wasn't a normal storm whatsoever. The outsides of it looked like a typhoon, but it was never a real typhoon. It was a weapon. No, none of the winds, like I showed you in the beginning, that, man, it's weird. They took a whole tab out on me here. I can't get this stuff. Let's look at the mimic. Alright, let's see if it'll play the last 48 hours. So here we go. Look, does it look like a typhoon to you guys or a hurricane? Look, not till it gets right to shore. They couldn't develop the eye wall. It's really not even an eye wall. Like they were a little slow on the trigger. This thing was a machine. This is part of the Skynet being pulsed with microwaves. See how it just all said it just does some kind of a rapid development. See if I can go back here. Man, I wish they'd let me go back on the, like the water vapor loops and stuff. Alright, so what? They're going to screw with me now on the internet. I can't go back. There we go. Alright, let's go ahead and get out of that. Put this on the surface winds. I'm on the temperature. So here's the second system. We'll see where that one's going. They're going to blow it apart, or is it going to develop? I don't know, man. It's not. I showed all the tracks there at the beginning. I don't want to. Hey, thanks out there, Captain. While I'm out there. All right. I guess while we're here, we'll just go ahead and check the ocean wave heights and all that stuff while we're here. See if we got anything crazy going on. Any kind of incoming. We'll make sure we're on now. So we do got some waves that are getting pretty far south. See where they dissipate. Look at that. See, they're getting ready to create something. This is the next big system coming in. So here around the 6th, we're looking at 40-foot waves up in the Aleutian Island chain. Let me go back. And about 35, 36-foot waves out here. I mean, look at this. This is going to be a big system. So that's coming in. And we'll see what that brings. Let's go ahead and check out the sea surface temperatures. And it still looks like the ocean is cooling. They keep saying it's warming, but it's cooling. Look at the water up here. It's not that hot. Where that typhoon just hit, it's not that hot up here. It's actually cool water. You should be able to see the path where that typhoon come through. It cooled the water down, but it's not showing it. But they have, you know, manufactured heat, the heat anomalies. Just like up here. It's all manufactured heat anomalies. Hey, thanks out there, chat. They will melt the poles. You know, that's why they're talking about sea level rise. It's all on purpose. Even though if you go down to the Fort Denison, you can see that the sea levels are actually lower. All lies. So it looks like we got a pretty good little fire or something going on up in Washington, Oregon area, Southern California. It must be some fires or something going on over here. Look at the high levels of the carbon monoxide. East Coast is actually looking a little better, so is Michigan, and definitely up in Canada it's looking way better. Let me go check Australia. See that the fires are still burning. They're still burning in the train route. Look at the air quality there in India and China. You want to do something about pollution? Why don't you do something over here? Why don't you start with them? You know, when I'm always showing these bunker fuel lines, here is the sulfur dioxide. Now these ships put off tons of sulfur, and you can see these long straight lines. These are the actual shipping lanes, and they put off so much sulfur that they're leaving tracks that can be picked up by the satellites. And that's what's making the storms more intense. There's so many metal particulates in the sky now. It makes the lightning more intense. And then plus you put in the microwaves that we're being inundated with. And that's why the storms are like they are. So we got some pretty good high levels of the PM 2.5s up in Canada. They're around the Washington, Oregon area. Let's look over here in Europe's all looking pretty good. No big, you know, a little bit of dust coming off the Saharas. Nothing like what was going on earlier in the year. All right, we're probably good with that. Let's go ahead and jump into the worldview map. I didn't get this thing loaded real good, but you know, first thing I seen was the bunker fuel. It looks like we got some kind of system out here by the Aleutian Islands. Look at that thing. So I won't know till tomorrow what that's going to look like. But yeah, we definitely have all the bunker fuel ships out here in a pretty central area. We'll see here. Let me put on the enhancement. So yeah, we got a lot of them out here. That looks like some kind of plane track. Definitely see these bunker fuel operations. We got a few over here closer to the coast. I don't know how that's coming out on the live feed, but we definitely have aerosols being deployed out here also. In Missouri today, we had the huge liners. Yeah, look at all the fires going on here in Oregon. Hey, thanks out there, Kim. So there's a lot of fires going on right now. Trying to find where that one big flume was. More man-made clouds off the coast of Washington. And of course up here where they're setting up for the mega snowstorms. So you have clouds seeding from the ocean, clouds seeding from the sky, and microwaves. Probably some ground-based generators there too. Thanks out there, lead. We have a new operation down here south of Los Angeles. It looks like a big setup here. So this is a big system. We got to take a pretty good look at this. They're already hitting it with the microwaves. Dropping all kinds of aerosols over the Baja, California. Look at them aerosol lines. Yeah, like there's a bunch of water vapor down here. What are they doing over here? These look like little orb drops. Maybe a new technique. Yeah, that's like a different technique. It looks like they're dropping out like dumps, and then they're drifting with the wind. You can see the same thing right here. So it looks like they dropped out a bunch of little orb drops. Maybe these are drones. Hey, thanks out there, lead. So these could be some kind of drone seeding going on. And then you got the big boys. The farther you go up into the Bajas, you got the big jetliners, the C-130s. Right over LA. LA is getting waxed right now. Big time. These definitely are military craft, dropping that big a line. You can see the skies are just synthetic, fake. So this operation not only covers Los Angeles, it goes all the way up into Las Vegas. And then all of Arizona is getting waxed right on into New Mexico. Totally gridded out skies. And it keeps going all the way to Oklahoma, Arkansas, and I know Missouri. We got nailed today. So they took a perfectly good sky and just within hours, you know, started dumping the X's, making the fake cirrus clouds, even up in Nebraska. Can't really see a whole lot in Canada right now. Let's go down here. Look, oh, we got a new operation here in the Gulf of Mexico off the coast of Texas. It looks like they're using a different technique. It's all like they're dumping little drops instead of just all the big liners or little fires, a couple fires going on. Big old single off and on spray. You can see the shadow of the sprayer. He turns it off and then turns it back on. So we got off and on sprayers. And I really can't see anything else that's actually standing out real big time. Let me just kind of go through this pretty quick here. Doesn't look any kind of bunker fuel operations off the coast of Chile. You know, every continent is getting some form of weather modification. Like we have something going on down here in South Africa. See if I can pull it out a little bit better. Yeah, definitely some aerosols being deployed in South Africa down off the coast. You see a lot of spraying out here near Dakar during the summer. I haven't seen a whole lot this, you know, through the winter yet. They're fabricating the weather over the desert. You know, they said they want to turn the desert green. That's what they're going to do. So that aerosol goes all the way down. Check out France is clear for a day. The UK is just now getting bombarded. They had a little bit of a clearing, but they're getting hit storm after storm. Look at the toxic soup mix up here. I mean, that's a whiteout. That's kind of a brownout. It's so nasty. That's all over Ireland. I think I see some ship tracks. Let me see. No, I can't really. They're not pulling out. So the Netherlands is getting ready to get hit. You can see the aerosols coming. In fact, probably by right now, they're probably getting hit right now. Nighttime spraying, if it's night over there. In a new spraying operation over the Mediterranean Sea. They're dripping clouds. Look at that. The thing's just dripping, it looks like. Who cares what Greta would say? She works for Soros. So it looks like the United Arab Emirates might be working on sending a storm over towards Somalia. We'll have to go check that out. No real big spraying operations up over Kazakhstan now. They have been getting hit pretty good lately, but looks like they're getting a break. Look at the air pollution in China. Look at this. Man. How'd you like to breathe that every day? And the sad part is they trap this stuff in with the aerosols. So horrible looking air over there, and also in India. I mean, you're talking smog. Look at the pollution coming out of the water. And then of course we have the, they actually do have a little bit of a eye wall showing up. Trying to see if it's loaded enough to get today's. Nope. Well, almost. This would be the most recent. Yeah, it'd take a couple hours for you get the actual. Today Guam is clear. You notice all these storms get, hooked up over here by the Atoll Islands. They never hit Guam. They go around to the north, they go to the south, or they weaken, then go over Guam, then they turn them up. It's like clockwork. And we'll see if the bunker fuel operations are in Australia today. Yep, they're right off the coast. They don't look as bad as yesterday, but they're out here laying the toxic, nasty stuff. We still have the fires burning. There's like going to be no trees left, no foliage left over here. It's all brown now. Look at that. They've lit up new ones all the way up. Look at that. It's almost all burnt up. Look, it's all red. There's no green left. They're just burning the whole damn place down. The agenda is definitely being pushed harder and harder every day. Look, that's pretty much, there's not a lot of green out here. So what little bit of green they had left is slowly being burned away. A lot of frequencies over the Victoria area. Looks like Tasmania's getting some weather. New Zealand's getting flooded out. We had that real strange orb thing down here the other day. We also had the vortex in the water. Like, it was like a, I don't know, man. It was some kind of weird vortex, like algae bloom or something. It was spinning. That's weird. So today is loaded, but yeah, so that storm's definitely being engineered also. We got tons of aerosols being deployed, flooding the west side of the country out. It's all blatant, man. Yep, the storm's just kind of like parked right there. It's just going to keep flooding the same areas out. All right, let's go check the radars real quick here. It's because they're going to be transhuman. They won't need humans. Everything's going to be automated. They'll upload their brains into the AI and they'll live forever. That's their goal. All right, just trying to get this to, let's put this on the Cirrus layer. Yeah, I think pretty much everybody almost got sprayed today. Florida looked like they were pretty clear. Well, we're fixing to see here in just a second. Big spraying over Texas, California, the whole state of Arizona, Colorado, New Mexico, Kansas, Nebraska. You also have spraying up in Michigan, up in Toronto, up in Canada. Look at that. Here, we zoom in on a couple of these places. Yeah, I want to go up a little higher, but look at that. The aerosols being deployed up in Canada. So now we're way up north. Look at that spraying operation. Holy crap. That's blatant. And then look, it pulls that low pressure right to where they sprayed the day before. That's how it works. Big spraying operation right here. And now they'll pull the low pressure right to it. Look, there's the low pressure. And it looks like they're also trying to pull it down south. Hey, thanks there, Simon. So that's nuts right there. I mean, that's how they do it. Showing you right there. Let's go. I think we already looked at that one. Let's go down here. So you're being sprayed like bugs. Look at all them long, almost going completely across Texas. Look at this guy's doing some kind of wiggly spray there. Boy, they really targeted a small area right there. So wow, man, Arizona, you're getting just clobbered. So is New Mexico, Colorado, Utah, Southern California. They're even still spraying through the night. Yeah, there's all the stuff that hit us. I think we need to go check out off the west coast and see if we can pull out the bunker fuel operations. See if we can get them to show up. So yeah, we definitely see the spraying operations along with the bunker fuel operations. So we're going to try to pull them out here. I just want to see the aerosols being deployed. Alright, let's put this on. I haven't checked the RAM slider yet today. So you can see all the long straight lines in the kind of the lighter colors. That's the bunker fuel. That's down low. So you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 so far. And there's a bunch up here. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So right now you have more than 13 ships out here deploying bunker fuel. So that's more emissions than all the cars on the planet just in this one area. That's just the ones I can count and see. This guy did a U-turn. Whoa, what do we got? What's that flashing going on south of Hawaii? So we got some kind of a signature popping off. That's the only spot on the map that is popping off like that. So we got something going on down there. Some kind of there's a glitch in the matrix down there. Looks like lava. Let's go check the RAM slider. So now we'll definitely be able to see him if this thing will load. Probably gonna have to put this on like every hour. Now we're gonna be able to see him. It's only loading up like 2 pictures. Let's put this on 24. That way we'll get the last 2 nights. It actually picks them up at night better. Look, you can already see him right there. This thing takes so long to load. There we go. Now it's loading. So there's a whole nother bunker fuel operation I didn't even see down south. So we got tons of bunker fuel being deployed down south. I didn't even see that in the worldview map. So down here by the Bajas, straight out for the Bajas, and then way out here. There's a big X in the ocean. And then all the other ones are way out off to the other side of that storm. Wow, there's a bunch over there. Let me see if I can get these guys in action. May not be able to. Wonder if I could see them from the polar region. Let me try. This thing always goes so fast, man, even if you slow it down. Let me try to do it. So we got some plasma also being released up here, which is signs that they're heating the ionosphere. They're creating a atmospheric compression event to push that cold polar vortex air back over the United States. Yeah, I was really hoping I was going to be able to see it better. From up here. Oh, look at that right there off the... Look right there off the coast of Alaska. Tons of ships, tons of frequencies. Look, they're deploying it right there off the Aleutian Islands. There's tons of them out here. These guys are just starting to turn them on. Wow, this is huge operation out here. So there's tons and tons of ships deploying. So there's actually way more than I even thought. So these are the ones up the north. Then there's another operation here, and then there's another operation down in the south. Let's see if we can pick up the ones off Australia. It's probably going to take this a second to load here. Maybe I need to zoom out just a little. All right, we'll give that a second to load. You know, and then we haven't even got into the nanoparticulates, the nanobots, the DNA changing type stuff. That's why we don't take a day off, because the demons don't take a day off. Man, I don't know if this is going to load. Well, we picked them up pretty good on the worldview map down here. Unless they're not out here today. No, they're out there. They're right there. All the yellow lines, the long straight lines. I guess it isn't going to load. Oh, it's trying to. There we go. Now it's starting to load. Look at that. So we got, you know, definitely some heating event going on. Boy, this thing's taking forever. Alright, yeah, this is just taking way too long. Alright, I'm going to take one quick look at the satellite, or the next rads real quick, and then we'll probably call it a show for tonight. It's been kind of a funky day. Mondays suck. Oh yeah, it's always multifaceted agendas. It's, even though, you know, we see this weather modification, there's way more things going on than just the weather modification. This is all multi-purpose. You know, it goes with the weather plan derivatives of farming, pushing their agendas, ruining crops. I mean, it goes melting the Arctic. I mean, it just goes on and on. Let's look at them pretty powerful little straight line storms down there. Unless that's some kind of chaff being released. So nothing too crazy going on the radars here. See a lot of these solar farms and wind farms are getting a lot of flickers out there. Anyway, guys, we're going to go ahead and call this a show. Make sure you subscribe to all the backup channels. I'm going to go ahead and post these show links into the description so I don't forget. Let me do that right now before we go here. Hey, thanks out there, Juanita. Alright, we'll paste that. Alright, guys, much love out there. Rise up, man. Be an activist. It's going to be up to us, man. They've already brainwashed the kids. There's nobody else that's going to stop it. Anyway, guys, here we go.